Perfectionism, the double-edged sword of excellence and stress. Dear Amelia Emberhart, let us examine two hypothetical individuals who are simplifications and representations of two real persons I know, person A and person B, both of whom exhibit perfectionistic tendencies but in a different ways. They face similar challenges, but they approach their work and the emotional toll of perfectionism in distinct manners. Person A, overachieving yet overstressed. Person A is someone who leaves no stone unturned. She is deeply committed to her work, ensuring that every detail is addressed and nothing is overlooked. The results are nothing short of excellent, thorough, well-researched, and polished. However, the cost of this quality is steep. Person A spends an enormous amount of time on each task, often overthinking the smallest details. She might spend hours refining a presentation that is already strong or obsessing over the wording of an email to ensure it is perfectly crafted. Although the outcome is outstanding, the process is draining. She feels as though she is giving too much, or her work, yet she cannot shake the feeling of dissatisfaction. No matter how much effort she invests, the pressure to make everything flawless never subsides. A key aspect of person A's perfectionism lies in her reluctance to step outside her comfort zone. The constant pursuit of perfection stems from a fear of failure or making mistakes. This fear keeps her tightly anchored to the idea that every detail must be scrutinized, often leading to an overcommitment of time and energy. Her perfectionism is not solely about the work itself, but about avoiding uncertainty and discomfort. It is easier to control every detail than to allow for a margin of error, even if the final result is already excellent. Person B, striving for perfection but feeling inadequate. Now, consider person B, who also demonstrates perfectionistic tendencies, but in a slightly different way. Like person A, she delivers flawless results, yet she constantly feels she is not measuring up. She is highly committed to ensuring her work is always perfect, often going above and beyond to exceed expectations. However, the process often takes a toll on her efficiency. Unlike person A, person B struggles to keep up with others in terms of productivity and output. She is consumed by the need to perfect every detail, which leads to slower work completion. Despite her outstanding results, person B constantly feels her best is never enough. There is an internal belief that she is always falling short, not because her abilities, but because she focuses so intensely on preventing mistakes that she cannot move past them. She tends to second guess herself and find ways to make her work even better, which only extends the time it takes to complete tasks. This focus on her perfection makes it harder for her to embrace the concept of good enough, and she often finds herself caught in a cycle of overwork and stress, yet still feeling insecure. Person B's perfectionism is closely tied to her self-worth. She feels that if her work is not perfect, it reflects her own inadequacy. This fear of imperfection keeps her in a constant state of evaluation, leaving little room for self-compassion. In her mind, mistakes must be avoided at all costs, even if it means sacrificing time, efficiency, and sometimes her own well-being. Observations of the possible underlying dynamics of perfectionism. Both person A and person B experience the pressures of perfectionism in different ways, yet the core dynamics of perfectionism remain similar. Perfectionism is not only about striving for excellence, it is also about managing internal fears: fear of failure, fear of judgment, and fear of not being good enough. These fears often keep individuals trapped in a cycle of overwork, stress, and dissatisfaction. In person A's case, perfectionism serves as a way to maintain control over her work. By obsessing over every detail, she ensures the result is flawless, but this also prevents her from taking risks or exploring more efficient ways of working. Person A's perfectionism is rooted in a desire to avoid discomfort or uncertainty, or the possibility of making a mistake. For person B, perfectionism is closely tied to her self-esteem. Her need to over-deliver and avoid mistakes stems from a deeper fear of inadequacy. She believes that if her work is not perfect, it reflects poorly on her as a person. This belief keeps her trapped in a cycle of overwork, feeling as though no matter how much effort she puts in, it is never enough. Personal standards, PS perfectionism. PS perfectionism reflects striving for high personal goals and setting elevated standards. It is an integral part of adaptive perfectionism, associated with traits like resilience, diligence, and achievement. While this dimension promotes goal-directed behaviors and the pursuit of excellence, it may also impose emotional stress. Evaluative concerns easy perfectionism. Easy perfectionism involves harsh self-evaluation, coupled with chronic concerns about others' criticism and disapproval. Unlike PS perfectionism, easy perfectionism is marked by insecurity, mistrust, and an inability to derive satisfaction from achievements. This dimension is considered a hallmark of maladaptive perfectionism and is linked to heightened psychological vulnerability. Conclusion: the balance between excellence and well-being. I am neither claiming nor qualified to suggest that person A aligns with PS perfectionism or that person B aligns with easy perfectionism. However, I propose that by understanding the insights from psychological studies, we can analyze our own behavior and possibly help others identify opportunities to adjust their thinking patterns. Ultimately, perfectionism can be a powerful motivator, but it must be balanced with self-awareness and self-compassion. People like person A and person B can benefit from developing a healthier relationship with their work by recognizing when perfectionism is hindering their progress or well-being. By learning to embrace imperfection, they can shift their focus from avoiding mistakes to developing good judgment, which will allow them to take risks, innovate, and find a healthier path toward excellence. This is your moment. Take command and show us the path.